So we're going to talk a little bit tonight, very briefly, about trust, longevity, and community, okay? The anesthesia group that started here in where's Subich? Tom Subich. Where's Tom? Tom, when did the anesthesia group start? 1958. This group started in 1958. I was 10 years older than my daughter at that time. My daughter that just danced, I was 10 years older. And Tom and his family are neighbors. The group is 51 years old. And in my 30 years here practicing neurosurgery, I've performed, I would estimate, between 8,000 and 10,000 operations or surgical procedures. And no surgeon works without an anesthesiologist. So what this means is that this group of anesthesiologists that are with us and their predecessors were with me in the operating room for between 16,000 and 20,000 hours, okay? And we all remember cases that don't turn out. We don't remember our cases that go well. We remember our cases that don't go so well. And those stick in our mind for a long time. Hey, Tom? And I can tell you that I've been through 8,000 to 10,000 operative procedures with this anesthesia group, and I can't recall any patient doing poorly because of an anesthetic complication or problem. That's really saying something, isn't it? Probably. That wasn't on the microphone. So, do I trust this group? Should anybody trust this group with that record? I'd say so. Does anyone feel the same as I do? Mm-hmm. So, we've talked about trust. I'd like to talk about longevity. I told you that the group I've been here now for 51 years. It started with Jeff Mason's father, Gene Mason, and Don Weiss. And from there it grew to others to include Tom Subich, better known as the Mighty Subich. Scott Whetstone, Chuck Gildner, and others. And it's been great working with them for all these years. I'd like to talk a little bit about community, because who do you think made up those 8,000 to 10,000 people that I operated upon? Who were they? Well, they're a cross-section of the community. They included our mayor. They included our Snohomish County executive. They included members of the board of the hospital, members of the administration of the hospital, nurses in the hospital, doctors in the hospital, all kinds of supportive people in the hospital. My family, my mother, all kinds of people had surgery in this community for the past 51 years because of those assembled here tonight and others that would like to be with us. So has this group been good for our community for the past 51 years? Yeah. I'd like to take just a few moments to introduce each one of them to you, recognizing some of them are working and some of them couldn't be here. And I don't know why, but this little song that Paul McCartney wrote, one of the Beatles, Paul McCartney, wrote this little song called Hello, Goodbye. And it's kind of a tag or a reprise to the song Sgt. Pepper's Lonely Heart Club Band. It's less than a minute and a half long. And he wrote the song because of opposites in life. life and death. There's good and bad. There's goodbye and hello. Okay? And tonight we're here for a recognition celebration. I talked a bit about the recognition end of things. And now I'd like to give us all a chance to celebrate each and every one of these anesthesiologists that have done so much for us. And I'm going to need some help from you. And I'm going to need some help from my daughter, Dasha. And Rick Ware, wherever Rick Ware is. And from my friend Dana Franks, a little instrumental music, Hello, Goodbye. And what we'll do is I'll hand the microphone to Rick Ware, and he will announce each anesthesiologist.